I don't know what happened with our video, but everybody can see you already. So we're ready to start. So thank you so much for your time, your effort, and for inspiring us all the time. So we're
Baruch
ready.
Hashem, thank you, Rabbi Moshe. Hashem should bless you guys and protect you over there in Mexico now, all of Am Yisrael around the world. And what is chut to be learning together. We'll start with a little joke. They said there was a big tzaddik, his name was Doev Israel. He's actually buried next to the Baal Shem Tov. And they say in his name that he told his Talmidim, obviously his name was Doev Israel, the lover of Jews. He told his Talmidim that in every parasha you could see Ve'ahavta l'reacha kamocha. So his Talmidim asked him one time, where do you see in Parashat Balak? So he said, Balak is the easiest. Balak is Rashi Tevot. Ve'ahavta l'reacha kamocha. So one of the students said, Kvod Harav, Ve'ahavta is with a Vav, Balak is with a Bet, Kamocha is with a Kaf, and Balak is with a Kuf. So he tells him, my dear friend, if you look at every Jew exactly and try to spell him the right way, you're never going to love anyone. We love someone, accept them, this is who they are, lat. That's as a side note. We'll start the parasha. Parashat Balak is actually one of the most fascinating topics that I love. I believe we spoke about this earlier in one of the years, but from year to year, who remembers? And either way, the Torah Kedusha is not about remembering, it's about learning it and learning it. When a person learns Torah, it's not just that their mind now learns new information. That Torah, that part of the Torah is being learned in the world. That means that if a person needs healing, so they study Torah that speaks about healing. And through that Torah that speaks about healing, then more healing happens in their world and in their life and in the whole world. This week's parasha, Balak, very rare parasha. The Torah normally teaches us how to behave, what to do, our relationship with HaKadosh Baruch Hu, v'chulei v'chulei. There are specific windows in the Torah where suddenly the Torah starts telling you what's going to be when Mashiach comes and what's going to be in the future. And one of them is Parashat Balak. The Nevuot that Balak has, that Bilam, the brachot that Bilam gives over, had to do with their generation and with the generation of Mashiach. Our generations, our times, Yiratzon Shebi B'meira B'yameinu Amen. I want to go back a little bit to understand. There's a general question, a person that thinks. Anti-Semitism has been around since we remember. Why is there anti-Semitism? Why? A group of successful, charming, special, intelligent people, wherever they go, they bring blessing, they bring success, they bring culture, they bring life, they bring creativity, talent. What nation would not be happy to accept them? Why reject them? Why hate them? Why persecute them? Why run after them and kill them? We have to go back. Borei Olam creates the world in 6 days. On the second day, Yom HaShani, Borei Olam created the Malachim, the angelic world, the angelic system. The Borei Olam tells the Malachim, the angels, I want to create one creature that will be smarter than you and higher than you, and he'll control you. And who is this creature? Adam. The Midrash teaches us that the angel said, no, who is this man? You're putting man into free will. What is this? Man will disappoint you, man will fail you. It's impossible to take a creature and to put him into a reality where there's opposite of godliness, zero godliness. Borolam created this world. He first created the Tzimtzum. You can imagine a conceptual anti-God, a system where it's just impossible for whatever is in that system to find its relationship to the Creator. A place of darkness, of death, of the opposite of everything that's good in life and beautiful. That's what He created. And the angel said it's impossible for any creation to be in this void, in this vacuum, and recognize and connect and become one with a God, with a Creator. And Borolam creates man, and He puts man into this world, into this darkness. And when man sinned, then those angels, sorry, I skipped a part. So it says in the Midrash that HaKadosh Baruch Hu, He put his finger and he burned that whole angelic system. And then he created another system. From this system that he created, most angels were okay with accepting man. There were two angels that objected. These are very mysterious angels. We don't say their names. We don't say names of angels that are in charge of dark areas of judgment. We don't. And these angels actively object the creation and existence of mankind. They actively claim that man is a mistake. In a sense, of creating man, giving man the free will. And HaKadosh Baruch Hu took them and said, listen, you think you do better than man? I'm going to put you in this world. And he put them in the world. And they fell for the beauty of women, and they sinned in their way. And in order for them not to destroy the world, the Kadosh Baruch Hu took them and chained them. We're going to see where. And these angels have active claim against man. They still fight man. I would say that the source of anti-Semitism, or one of the sources, is from this concept. The anti-man, the anti-creation, the voice that says creation will fail. That agenda is the anti-man. That's anti-Semitism. That's anti the man. That's anti-Am Yisrael. So Bilam HaRasha, who's the grandson of Lavan HaArami, who, remember, that's where Yaakov Avinu went to marry Rachel and Leah. That's where he redeemed the souls of Am Yisrael from those sheep while he was a shepherd there. Everything that Yaakov Avinu did by Lavan was involved with redeeming the souls. This is the evolutionary process of the Jewish souls becoming, and one of their stages was over there. And Lavan was a great wizard, and he tried to destroy Yaakov and everything Yaakov did, but Yaakov, HaKadosh Baruch Hu, helps him. But from his grandsons come Bilam. Bilam ben Be'or is the grandson of Lavan. And he, right now, when Paro, the Pharaoh, the great king of Egypt, when he decides to, today, I'm sure there are very sophisticated systems of radar and satellite that armies use for their security. At those days, the technology was witchcraft, was wizards that knew how to cast spells, that knew how to use dark powers, spiritual powers, whether it's demons or angels or all kinds of things that exist. And Bilam was the superstar of all this. So the great Pharaoh calls in Bilam, and Bilam made these spells that no one should be able to leave the geographic land of Egypt. No one. All kinds of snakes and all kinds of arrangements that he had around, and therefore no one ever escaped. And that's why Balak sends to Bilam an urgent message. And he starts off his message saying, the nation left Egypt. So when Bilam hears this, that all his magic and everything that he did didn't work, everything that he did failed, he started tearing his hair out, ripping his hair out, and scratching his body. And he starts traveling and heading to these dark mountains. These dark mountains are the dark mountains that these two angels, we're going to see exactly there. That's where HaKadosh Baruch Hu puts them. That's where they're tied, they're chained over there so they can't destroy the world. Dark mountains, in the language of the Zohar and Kabbalah, doesn't literally mean a dark mountain, even though geographically it could be that that's where they are also. But deeper than the geographic essence is their spiritual location, as if they're in the bina, in the deep idbonenut of the klipa, like a very, very high level. That's called the dark mountains. And when a person wants to enter these angels, wants to enter their domain, their area where they are, wants to communicate with them, wants to study with them, wants to make himself a merkava to them, the spiritual worlds are all possibilities in a sense. They're just possibilities. The ones that make them from possibilities to reality is only man. By man choosing to follow a certain spiritual way and to go in that way, then he thinks that way and he speaks that way and he acts that way. And then that spirit now finds room to express itself, to live in him and through him. We see how much preparation a person has to do in Kedusha when a person wants the Ruach HaKodesh to rest on them. They want to make their world worthy and fit and holy and pure. And once it's that way, then the Ruach HaKodesh, the Holy Spirit, the Spirit of Hashem, since it's similar to things that are similar, connects through them. These Rasha'im, when they wanted these impure spirits to connect to them, would be involved in everything that's dark and ugly and impure. I mean, the relationship that Bilam had with his donkey is very deep. It's connected to what the Gemara says. Shalosh mishmerot ha the night has 3 watches. Mishmer rishana chamor noer. The first night, the first watch of the night, as the watches in heaven change, so in this world, there's a sign that happens. That means, how do we know when a watch in heaven changes? So in this world, an animal that's connected to that watch will make a sound. So the donkey makes a sound. By the second watch of the night, the dogs make a sound. I mean, the donkeys and the dogs are these levels in this world that are parallel to those dark levels that are happening in those worlds. And when those levels change and those animals corresponding to them in this world make some kind of noise. But either way, so this person that wants to get involved and become a merkava, become a chariot, become a vessel to these spiritual possibilities and give them room in the real world to make them a reality. You go to them, you travel to them. You don't just travel to them. I'm sure that there was many meditations and preparations in very dark ways. And when you start going to them, mata legabe inun shalshalae de parzela, they reach the metal chains. This is the way of a person that goes to them, to these malachim. As soon as the man walks into the top of these mountains, Chamale, one of the angels, sees him. Because we're going to see that these two angels, one of them has eyes, one of them doesn't have eyes. What does this mean? That one of them was stronger din, one of them had a stronger judgment. So the Kodesh Baruch Hu made his eyes dark. He shouldn't be able to see. And one of them that was more mellow, I guess, in his judgment, his eyes stayed open. They're both chained in chains in this deep, dark area that we're going to learn. But one of them could see and one of them can't see. That's where the shoresh is nofel v'gilu enayim. When Bil'am says, when he praises himself that he sees nofel uglu enayim, what does this mean according to the Kabbalah? Nofel, the fallen one, is going to that angels that are called the nephilim, the ones that fell, the ones that and Gilu enayim is the one that has open eyes. Nofel, his eyes are closed, his eyes are blind. But Gilu enayim is also from the nephilim, but his eyes are open. So Gilu enayim sees him, and he right away makes a sound to the other angel. The other angel gives a very strong signal, a very strong sound. Now it's very interesting that these two angels work in cahoots this way, because in our parasha, Balak, even though Balak calls Bil'am for help, but really Balak was a wizard that was, in certain sense, higher than Bilam. The Midrash teaches us that Balak and Bilam are compared to two people who are trying to cut the limbs of an animal. One person has a sharp knife, but he has no idea where to cut. You have to cut between the bones. You can't just cut. And one person knows where to cut, but he doesn't have a knife. Balak knew where to enter. If Chas v'Shalom there was a way to curse Am Yisrael, he took Bilam. He said, "You stand here, look at this, meditate on this aspect that they have, meditate on this action that they did." And Bilam was the one that had the knife, as if he was the one that knew how to, at the right time, slip in the right word and suggest the right suggestion of judgment to make the judgment actually take place in this world on that nation or on whoever is trying to curse. So they also work together. Balak and Bilam are both handicapped and they complement each other. And you see by these angels the similar, relationship, as if. So the second angel gives this very strong sound, and right away gather to them, to these two angels, Chevan Ravravan, massive snakes, the Mitokdin v'Sacharin Lon, that surround these two angels, these massive dark snakes that are like, Mitokdin is a lashon of fire. I guess they're like totally like heated up, like really venomous and dark and poisonous. And they surround these two angels. Now they're all ready. A person is coming to see them, and now like imagine all the dark headquarters is calling in all their like everything. Meshadreo hanamita. Hanimuta. They send a little animal. It's called a hanimuta. Zeirta. Lekable de banash. They send this little animal now to greet this person. What is this animal? The Tana, we learn. Kemin shunrahi. This animal is like a cat. It's from the cat family. Vereisha kereisha dechivya. The head of this animal is like the head of a snake. So the body is like the body of some cat, a large cat or a small cat, I don't know, with the head of a snake. V'trein znavinba. This animal has two tails. Yada veragla zeirin. The animal's hands and the animal's feet are very small. Pretty creepy type of animal. Imagine. It's like big cat with the head of a snake with two tails with small hands and small feet. Banash de chamile, when a person sees this animal, chafean poi, he has to cover his face. It's a very scary animal. And he offers to this animal an incense. This incense is made out of, it's a cremated, burnt, white chicken. This is the incense that a person offers this animal. Shariban Pai puts it in front of her. Sorry, I just saw the question. This is not, I don't know. I can't tell you. This is a certain, obviously, again, we're talking about levels, spiritual levels. This is not just a person going into some cave in the Himalayas. This is like a deep journey of a man journeying into committing himself to become a soldier and a messenger and of the evil. So this person now is entering like the Kodesh Kodashim of the evil, kiviyachol lavdil. So between levels is always going to be another level. So you can't just like enter from this world these dark places. There are levels. You have this transformation that a person goes through in their mind and their body and their behavior. This animal seems like it's an in-between animal that's involved of many different strengths, meaning a cat is, even though it's tameh, but it's neutral, while a snake is evil. The two tails also symbolize things here of duality. The size of the hands, the size of the feet, all these characteristics of these animals symbolize intermediate levels between the world that the person is coming from and the world that the person is going towards to enter such a dark consciousness like we're going to see. So everything was created in Maaseh Bereshit. There's nothing new under the sun. This animal is connected to these levels. So after the person offers this incense from a white chicken to this animal, and she starts walking with him. And now this person is following this animal till they reach the beginning of the chains. Now these chains are connected to one level of this world, and then they go down and down and down, and that's where these angels are tied with these chains. These chains are connected to the ground, and they reach all the way to the tehom. The tehom, it means the deepest, lowest levels. Now again, this is chains. You see, this is connecting one level, like this world that we're in, and going into portals or chains or meditations or into these dark, dark, dark levels. The same way, Lavdil, we see when the Kohen Gadol goes into the Kodesh Kodashim. It's not just like go in. There's a special day. There's a special ceremony that the nation does, that he does. There's special korbanot. There's fasting. There's clothing that he does. There's everything that he does is specific. And if he changes anything, then he dies. And when he goes in there, he has experiences the same way, chas v'shalom, in this case, where Bil'am HaRasha was a mastermind, and he was connecting himself as much as he could to these dark levels and going in and becoming connected and associated by them to them, and making his world a place where they could act through, where they could carry out their venomous, evil intentions that they have, their anti-man intentions. Now they can't do anything. They're tied into these chains. But since this man right now made a free choice to commit himself to them, now they could act through him. V'taman betehoma chad samich v'unait betehoma tata. Now at the bottom of this chain again goes from wherever this person reaches, and is starting to go down into the tehom, into the dark tehom. And at the bottom of that tehom, there's another pillar, and that goes down to a lower tehom. That means like you went to the dark mountains. That's already one level of darkness. And then you meet this creepy animal, do this whole incense thing to it. And then you start going with it, and you reach the chains that go down to the tehom. And then you go down the chains. And then down there you see that there's chains that go to another tehom. Now when a man reaches these chains, when a man reaches these chains, they kick the chains 3 times. Now, obviously, again, everything here has unbelievable symbolism and importance. Why 3? Why kick? Why chains? Why metal? All these things are. But this is the way. And when he does this, when he gives them the code that he bangs 3 times, he kicks 3 times these chains, they call him. And at this point, Kadein Kara v'Sagid al Birkoi, he bows down and he gets on his knees. Ve'azil, and he walks maybe on his knees with his eyes closed. Ve'atimenoi. Imagine this scene right now. Imagine where he is. And he closes his eyes and crawls on his knees, bowing down towards them. Ademate gabayu, till he reaches them. Kadein yativ kamayu. Then he sits in front of them. And all the snakes surround him from all sides. And then he opens his eyes. And he sees these malachim. He gets shooken up. He falls flat on his face. He bows down to them. Then they teach him witchcraft and magic and curses and all these things that Ve'yativ Gabayu, and he sits by them 50 yomin, 50 days. Now imagine, again, this is unbelievable. You're talking about a person who his life's mission is anti-Am Yisrael. That's what his life's mission is. He's training to be dark, to be evil. This is his meditations, this is his day, this is his habits. And he's going, imagine, Moshe Rabbeinu alav shalom, Avdil, goes up to Shamayim 40 days and 40 nights to go through unbelievable transformation of man becoming God, becoming Isha Elohim, a man that's God and a God that's man, which is the purpose of man to become. But Moshe Rabbeinu became this. Over here you see a person, Bil'am HaRasha, that goes through an unbelievable transformation of 50 days, of spending 50 days with 2 angels in this unbelievable, dark, and evil reality, surrounded by all the evil of the world. Snakes here doesn't just mean snakes. Snake and Nachash, Gevald, imagine what that is. When it's time to go, when it's time to leave. This animal, scary animal, looks like a cat with a head of a snake and two tails, with little feet and little hands. And all those snakes escort him. Azlin Kamei, escort him. The Nafik min Turaya till he leaves those dark mountains. Beginu Chashucha Takifa, because of the deep, dark, strong darkness that exists over there. So imagine this is where Bilam, you see a person, you say, oh, you're an architect. Where'd you go to school? He says, oh, I went here, I went over there. Oh, you're a lawyer. Where'd you go to school? Here or there. You meet Bilam. Say, what do you do? I'm a wizard. Where'd you go to school? You really want to know? This is where he went to school. Now, the Malachim, these two Malachim, even though they fell into this world, they're Malachim. They're not Bnei Adam. They're angels. And therefore, they know everything that angels know. And angels know a lot of things. They know things that are above time, above space, because they're not, man doesn't know so much because man needs to have free will, but the angels don't. So these angels, they know what's going on. So imagine they teach him everything. Now I want to jump a little bit. This story we did before, and this is unbelievable. The Zohar goes on to continue that when Bilam saw that he couldn't do anything, why is that? Because HaKadosh Baruch Hu in those days took the power that's in charge of Kishuf and just yeah. It was a very big etatzon. There was a very big love that Kadosh Baruch Hu showed to Am Yisrael those days, and none of this stuff worked out. But I want to jump in a little bit to bring it a little bit into our life. I'm going to read to you from a very holy book called the Leshem. Leshem was from the very big Mekubalim of the last 100 years. His grandson of the Leshem was Rav Eliashiv Alav Shalom. Anyone that knows, one of the biggest poskim of Yerushalayim that lived till recently. The Leshem, very, very deep sefer, is a very holy sefer. As a matter of fact, the Ben Ish Chai, who was the Rav of Baghdad, Rabbi Yosef Chaim, when they brought him the Leshem, when this book came out, so that day he asked everyone to wear clothing of Yom Tov. He made it a Yom Tov. So it's such a special sefer. So we're going to go into something very small. The reality of the Malachim, of the angels. The Malachim have a very, very big job in creation. We know that Kadosh Baruch Hu creates the world's most deeper inner world that he creates is called Adam Kadmon. The second world that he creates is called Olam HaAtzilut. Then there's Olam HaBriya, Olam HaYetzira, Olam HaAsiya. These are 5 levels that are symbolized in the Shem Yud Kei Vav Kei, the essence of Hashem's name. Adam Kadmon, which is Keter, which is a level there's no letter that could contain the revelation. It's beyond. Therefore, there's no letter in the Yud Kei Vav Kei. It's symbolized in the Yud. The Yud has like a little kotz, a little thorn. The Yud Kei Vav Kei is Atzilut, Bria, Yetzira, Asiya. In every world, there's Malachim, and the job of the Malachim is very big in all the worlds. They have a very big fight with the Malachim of the dark side. I mean, imagine this like two mighty armies, mamash, mighty armies that are fighting each other. משחיתים מזיקים הרבה מאוד, אשר חפצם תמיד להחריב העולם. There are many, many, many angels that their mission, that their job, that their dream is to destroy the world. You know, in our rule book, what does it say? Be kind, be nice, be gentle, be understanding, be compassionate. Everyone in their own words, but this is what creates and what makes a culture exist. Be human, listen, talk, communicate, build, love, hug. But my friends, there's another Torah, the Torah of the dark side, where what does it say in their Torah? It says kill, destroy, curse, hate, break, embarrass, humiliate. There are full spiritual systems that this is their job, this is their calling, this is their mission. חפצם תמיד להחריב העולם. Their dream is to destroy. ועומדים על ישראל תמיד להרע ולהשחית רחמנא ליצלן. And they are constantly standing against Am Yisrael and Shamayim, just to kill, just to destroy. May HaKadosh Baruch Hu protect and save every Yid. והם רבים מאוד. There are many, 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 many of them. So the Gemara teaches us that if the eye could see, we wouldn't be able to live. If we saw what's happening around us, spiritually speaking, the amount of spiritual forces of Malachim that are fighting Am Yisrael, it would be unbelievable. They're surrounding us, totally surrounding Am Yisrael. Every Jew, every one of us has 1,000 on his left and 10,000 on his right. All these things are concepts you have to understand. Like it says in the Pasuk, Pol mitzidcha elef u'rovavam minech. And this is really happening in the spiritual worlds. You know, we're very, very unaware of our importance, the importance of our actions, of our speech, of our thoughts. But we know the Gemara teaches, the Mishnah teaches us that every mitzvah that a person does creates a malach, creates an angel. We live, you know, you put on tefillin this morning, or you gave tzedakah, or you did some mitzvah, and then you move on. You go on, you have business, you're here, you're there. What do you think happened from that mitzvah? You think it just disappeared because now you're eating lunch? No. You're eating lunch, give up. But that mitzvah that you did was genuine, it was real, it was creation turning to the creator, it was beautiful, it was romantic, it was sensitive, it was infinite. What happened from that? That remains infinite. There are angels that are in charge of containing that experience. You created them through this experience, and they're infinite. Wait. Does nothing, none of these things ever go to waste. They're become a part of the infinite existence. But the other side, כל מלאכתם הוא לחבל ולהשחית ולבלוע את ישראל רחמנא ליצלן. אלא שיש כנגדם, imagine this is in heavens, it's happening right now. groups and groups against each other. The groups of the Kodesh, Irin Kadishin, Chashmelei Zohar, Takifei Srafim, Malachim הרבה קדושים ונוראים, שעומדים כנגדם לדחותם ולבטלם בכל האפשרי. There's the angels of the good, of the mitzvot, that are constantly fighting with the angels of the bad actions. Because again, we have to remember that we're talking about HaKadosh Baruch Hu creating the world, and then by HaKadosh Baruch Hu there's no time. So this is happening. When he's creating the world, he's creating it now. And he's asking the angels right this second, should I create man? And some angels said, of course, create man. Give man a chance, give him life, give him hope. Look how man will make you proud. Look. And some angels say, no, look how man will fail. And what's their proof? Their proof is reality. Their proof is the reality. Right now, when they're looking in the world, and they see that here's a man that has free choice. He can do anything he wants. And what is he choosing? He's choosing to remember his creator, to learn Zohar, to study, to get close to him. Who could say anything? But if Chas v'Shalom, they look into the world and they see that man is self-centered, just as ego, just as ta'avot, just running after his own desires and ignoring the creator, then they say, look, this is happening every second. Vehem b'milchama gdola tamid. There's a tremendous, tremendous war between the angels, because these are live, these are claims that they're claiming. Create or don't create. This is an ancient disagreement, an ancient argument. That there are angels that are fighting, say, don't create. And angels that say, create. And they're fighting and they're opposed. This is on and on. There's not one, it's millions and millions and millions. We cannot. There's a tremendous effort in this fight. What is the strength? Where is the strength of the good angels? What gives them strength? When a Jew does something good, anything good that he does, whether it's a good thought, whether he looks where he should look and doesn't look where he wants to say something and he doesn't say it. Any good deed that a person does that stems from somewhere real gives them strength, gives them a claim. They say, look at this man. He's in a difficult situation. He's in a fight. He's in a jealousy. He has this tava. But look, he's controlling himself. He's listening to you, even though it's difficult for him. The second they feel one good thought that you have, we think that in order to activate these angels, we have to do big mitzvot. Alavai, we should all do big mitzvot and small, everything. We don't realize how great we are. That every thought that we have, when a person in his mind is thinking about a person, what a creep. And then he says, I'm going to stop. No, I'm going to dan lekaf zchut. I'm going to think good about him. He's a person, maybe he's going through a hard time. I'm going to love him extra. I'm going to judge him. You think you did a small thing? All the world, everything changed now. Because you were created with free will. And there's a tremendous fight about you. Are you going to win or not? And you just proved that you could be godly. That you could overpower your ego. You could overpower your temptations, yourself, your action, your speech, your thoughts. And you could do what's right. And every small thought, there's nothing small. There's nothing that's small. When a person understands who he is, how significant he is, and how everything is looking at him, there's nothing that's small. The tiniest thought that you just change in your mind, instead of thinking of something improper, I'm just not going to think about it. I'm in the middle of davening, and all kinds of thoughts come to me. I'm just going to ignore them and try to focus on tefillah. You think it's massive. The second you are doing this, when down here in this world, in the physical dimension, any good action happen, or a speech, or any good thought. At that second, he's awakening in the higher worlds. בקדושת אורו יתברך שמו, ונמשך למלאכים אותו הזוהר אור, שהוא שורף כל טומאה, זוהמה ורע. And as soon as a person does this, the angels, the malachim, get tremendous strength and light. כי הנה אלפי רבבן מלאכים קדושים תמיד במלחמה גדולה עצומה. All the angels in Shamayim are in a big, big war with the angels of the Samech Mem of the other side. והם ביגיעה גדולה בזה. They're in a tremendous... כל מצווה ומעשה טובה לישראל, every mitzvah and every good deed that any Jew does, היא להם חיי רוחם, it's their spirit of life. The spirit of life of the malachim is created by our good thoughts, by our good speech, by our good actions. Because this is, it's clear, because whenever we're choosing life, whenever we're choosing good, we're strengthening the original claim of the Borei Olam, Na'aseh Adam, let's make man. That dispute of let's make man, should man be created or not, is an infinite dispute that's still going on. And our actions and our thoughts and our speech are affecting this dispute in the angelic world. And there's no other way that these angels could receive power. Okay, I want to wrap this up here. I want to stick to one topic. I think one of the main things that we want to open up our eyes, besides for learning the Torah Kedusha, is to understand the codependent relationships that exist in the world. There's a chain of command. There's a ripple effect. Obviously, the creator is the originator of everything. And of course, everything is the ripples, as if, or the activities or the creation of him. But there's another direction. If we look at that from like up to down, from creator creating everything, that's one direction, from top to bottom, from up to down. But there's another direction that goes from bottom to top. And that is when the creation, when man was created on the 6th, on Friday, at the end, it was the end of creation. When he chooses life and he chooses good, man is the only other creature that has a ripple effect and the reverse. So the creator is creating from the spirit into the physical, as if from high to low. The creation does exactly the same thing. We're creating every second of our life. Every thought that we have is not just a personal thought that I have. It's a creation. And this creation doesn't just affect me right now. It affects all creation infinitely. Because my action or my speech or my thought that I'm doing now is a claim that man is worth it. And this claim in the spiritual world is a part of a infinite dispute. And we see from the story of Bilam how man chooses to associate himself with these powers, with these strengths, and how a man goes out of his way to connect to these spirituals, to these angels, to these spiritual powers, and how these spiritual powers then act through him. The ultimate level of man is called the Merkava. Merkava, which is many things to talk about Merkava, but one of the levels of Merkava, one of the concepts of Merkava, is a creature that can make his world proper, that the godly light could shine in him and manifest through him. Everything that a person does, he becomes a Merkava. He becomes a vessel, a place for these spirits to act. And everything that we do affects right away from bottom to top. The whole ratio of all the spiritual action that's happening. And this is happening today, to us right now. This is not just Bilam and Moshe and these great people, of course. But the most important thing to know is that all this noise and all this action is happening to me. In my day-to-day, when I come home and I speak to my wife and she says something and I want to say and I'm quiet and I don't answer. Or when I see something and I want to look but I don't look. Or when I'm thinking something and I just change my mind to think a good thought. The biggest lie in the world is to tell a person that you're small. Because there's nothing greater than a human being. The Borei Olam made the human being, Na'aseh Adam b'tzalmeinu kidmutenu. We say, we read in Sheva Brachot, Asher yatzar et ha'adam b'tzalmo, Creator makes man his tzelem, b'tzelem dmut avnito, v'yitkin lo mimenu binyan adei ad. Borei Olam makes man is unbelievable. And everything that we do is the biggest deal in the world. The biggest deal in the world. Every little thought that you have, that you in your mind decide, I'm going to remember God right now. People sometimes tell me, I'm bored, I don't know what to do. So how could you be bored? I don't understand, what does it mean to be bored? You're sitting and you're doing nothing. There's no such time that you're doing nothing, because if you're sitting in a room and there's nothing for your hands to do, then remember that there's a Borei Olam. Remember, think of the letters Yud, the letter Hey, the letter Vav, and letter Hey. Remember that there's a creator, a one creator that creates everything all the time. And he's right now looking at me and listening to me and loves me. And I love him. And I want to remember him. You can think about these thoughts all day. And you know what this does? You know what, a person stops and remembers the creator, stops during the day, stops his life and says, wow, I remember that I am creation. I remember that there's a creator and he's creating me. You know what that does? And then afterwards you go on, you brush your teeth, you go out to eat, you're driving. It doesn't make a difference. That second is infinite. That second is a victory of God. Look, here's a man. And look at what man is doing. Look at man with everything around him. 2020 with all the temptations and all the possibilities. Look what he's choosing to do. He's choosing to ignore everything and remember that there's a Borei Olam, that there's a creator to the world. So my friends, Yehi Ratzon, let's take this with us. If you want, we could in a couple minutes have more questions. I don't have a watch. I don't know what time it is.
Yes, Rabbi.
Yes.
You put us in different levels and worlds. We went out of this world, and people have so many questions. So if I could tell them to you, because we had a problem with our camera. So I will give you the questions, and you could answer them.
Go ahead. Thank you.
Okay, so we have a question. Somebody's asking.
I'm listening.
Yeah. How we create angels? So he says that he thinks that with our mitzvot, but his question is how we could maintain and how we could use those angels for our good.
The process of creating angels is not a process that we consciously do. Borei Olam does this for every mitzvah, every action that we do creates an angel. Some of these angels, I mean, at the end when we'll see the real story, we'll see them. But some of these angels also during a person's life help him. That's what it says. When a person makes a decision to purify himself, to turn to the good, there are many that help him. Who are these many? There are many souls. There's many types of help. Some of this help is the angels that he himself creates from his own mitzvot. That they're with you. So these malachim are created from our actions, and they're with us, and through them, HaKadosh Baruch Hu gives us all kinds of help.
Okay. And he asks another question that in creation we know that the trees disobeyed God's will. So it seems like they have free will. And also man has free will. So why God trusts so much in us and not on all the creation? Like,
Okay, so the trees don't have free will. What happened with the trees? There's a separate issue, like understanding why the trees were supposed to produce one level and they produce a different level. That's a separate topic to study. But the only thing that has free will is man.
okay. Isaac, he's asking that if the purpose of creation of these angels is so bad, so it's so negativity. So why does Hashem don't let us destroy them?
It's a fascinating topic, these angels, and how do angels have free will, and what does it mean? What was their claim? There's a lot to learn about this. The evil is not it's evil right now, but in the future, in the real scheme of things, the evil is transformed and turned into good. That means that these claims of these angels and the things that broke in the creation, they didn't break because they were bad. HaKadosh Baruch Hu breaks them in order to create a possibility of fixing. And then the Jewish souls, Nishmot Israel, while they're in this world, could fix those dimensions. So that means all the worlds that broke, the worlds that were destroyed, were not destroyed because they were no good, because they were mistakes. HaKadosh Baruch Hu destroyed them, and then we're created partially from the fixed worlds and partially from the destroyed worlds. That means that we have a nefesh elokit, a godly soul, that's from the world of fixing. Our animal soul comes from those broken worlds. And by us having the constant battle between the good and the bad, and every day, drop by drop, bit by bit, transforming the bad, transforming the selfish, and creating goodness out of it. So this darkness is eventually the building blocks. It's just blocks, it's just straw, it's just cement. There's no shape to it. That's what we call it evil. It's nothing. This is chomer. It's chomer and tzura. When the tzura, when the shape, when the design comes in, the design takes the material and makes it into buildings, makes it into structures. So the godly soul that we have has the ability to take bits and pieces of those destroyed worlds and slowly transform them and make them into proper material that you could build Gan Eden with. In other words, the Gan Eden is built from Gehenom. The Gehenom, the evil that Kadosh Baruch Hu created, is evil, but it's given to us, and we transform the evil slowly and make heaven out of it.
Okay. Millie is asking if this battle between angels and God, it's a how you say in English, it's
Metaphoric.
metaphor,
Metaphoric?
or it's
No,
something.
it's not a battle. Again, we have to understand this because we're not saying, it's a very sensitive area because the Christians took this literally, that there was the Satan fights with God. It's not. Obviously, these angels, everything that God creates is constantly in his control. He's creating it. To understand these are deeper topics that are not always, it's a little difficult to understand them. What is the meaning how God does this? He creates angels and he gives them a choice and they could as if go against. There's a whole design here. Lat.
Okay.
But
Alejandro.
the main thing to know about this is that everything is by design. Nothing is by chance and nothing is lost control. I mean, this is the original design to create this and to put man into such a condition.
Okay. Alejandro wants to know what text we were reading today.
I started with the Zohar and then I read from a sefer called Leshem. Here, I'll show you. Started with the Zohar. This is the Zohar. And then we read from this sefer. It's called Leshem Shov Achlama. Very, very special and deep sefer.
Okay, Aaron is asking, does the Yetzer Hara and those two dark angels are the same?
Of course, they're connected, of course. All the evil is essentially one concept. The Gemara says that the Malach HaMavet and the Yetzer Hara and the Satan is all the same. It's all one concept, yeah.
Okay, Sally is asking, is there an advice on how to win or overcome to this dark side?
It's a great question. The man, if I could say this, I don't know if it's true, but I think it's definitely, the man that fought evil the most, in my mind, is Yaakov Avinu. He was fighting Esav, who was like, the arch enemy. And then Lavan, and then Paro, and then Shechem. He was like really, and there's a very beautiful insight with Yaakov that could actually answer this, which is really if a person understands this attitude, it could change their life forever. When Yitzchak Avinu gives the brachot, in that famous story where he wants to give it to Esav and Yaakov takes it, he gives the brachot to Yaakov. One of the brachot that he tells him is Heve Gevir Le'achecha. Heve, which means be, Gevir, a master, Le'achecha, to your brother. You will be the master over your brother. It's a beautiful blessing. However, the tzaddikim, the Maggid of Koznitz, teach us that the word Heve, Hey Vav Hey Heve, which means you shall be, is also the word Hove. Hove means present. And what Yitzchak is telling Yaakov, he says, listen, you're going to have this everlasting battle with Esav, with your brother. You represent the good, the godliness, the fixing. And he represents the desire the breaking, the dark. And this battle is going to go on till Mashiach. He says, I'm going to teach you how to win your brother. Hove. Hove means present. Always be in the present. The Yetzer Hara, our weaknesses, the evil, mainly gets us with our past, involved with our past, getting used to this habit and getting used to that, and with the future, what's going to be and what's going to do and what are they going to say. If a person gets himself used to every second living in the present, saying, right now, I am a creation, Creator is creating. Right now, I have a choice. I am going to choose life. I'm going to make this decision right now in the present. I'm going to make the right decision. What happens? Then the voice inside you says, you're going to make this decision now. What, are you becoming religious? And you're going to start then tomorrow and this. If you can do this, you have to do this again and again and again and again. So you don't do it. Why? Because you left the present. You went into the future. You tell the Yetzer Hara always, right now, I'm going to make the right decision. Tomorrow, I don't know what's going to be tomorrow. I hope tomorrow I have the choice to make the right decision. Oh, and yesterday, look at what you did, and look at how you lived, and what about her, and what about him, and what about this, and what about that. My friend, I don't care. Right now, the Creator of the world is giving me life. Right this second. Right now, the Creator of the world is giving me choices. And right this second, I'm choosing life. I don't care what I chose till today, and I'm ignoring right now of what this is going to do tomorrow. I don't care. Right now, I'm choosing life. And if a person lives like this, really, it's an amazing, amazing technique to always choose good.
Okay, we have one more question and one request from Joshua. So the question is, Alan is asking that he sees that angels, they're a whole army that surround us all day. So he's asking that if we connect with them, can they be messengers with our direction? Or can we send them to someone in need?
Look, I think there's the ideal answer and there's the realistic answer. Ideally, man is supposed to be on a higher level than the angels. And that's really how it's going to be in the future, like we read in our parasha. That Bilam saw that in the future, the level of Am Yisrael will be that the angels will have to ask Am Yisrael, what's happening in heaven? What does God say? Because they'll be right? But right now, in the level of man, that man fell to sin, that man fell to be involved in this world and cares about physical and material. So then man made himself lower than the angels. So right now in the present state, and really the best way to deal with this is to always choose good and to know that your good choices create angels and create good things. To be involved with this on a level of like commanding them, do this, do that, we're not there yet. Mankind is not there yet, but it's definitely in the destiny of man is definitely to be there. So no commanding, right now it's not the time for it. Even though it's gonna be.
Okay, Joshua.
There's one more, Rabbi, right? Rabbi Moshe. Why did God create all these angels? Just for the person to do his mission?
Oh, why does God create the angels? The angelic system is a fascinating creation. Fascinating creation. There are millions of explanations to it. it's not. I don't want to get into this now. Why did God create the angels? Because this is we have to study exactly about what the angels do and what's their function in the world. Meaning, the world could get to its destiny or to its purpose, and it will get to its purpose. There's multiple tracks. Man could choose to recognize his importance, to recognize who he is, what to realize what's dependent on him, and man up and take on the job. And then man brings God into the world, and man fixes the world. If Chas v'Shalom, man ignores his mission and follows his own agendas, then more of the angelic system has to be involved in bringing these seeds into the world. But it's a very, very big question. It's not. This is how HaKadosh Baruch Hu creates the world. And these malachim, these angels, there are many levels of them. Some of them, it's a whole world. It's not. If there's something more specific, then we could answer it. But this is just to understand why there's angels and what angels are. It's a whole study.
Okay. One request: can you sing
Yes.
your song at Silut, or do to end with a short meditation, please?
Who's with us today? I want to. Who's
You can see them, right?
What do the Chevra want? They want a meditation or they want a song? We could do a little vote.
So if people can write in the chat if they prefer the song or meditation.
A little of both. Meditation.
Both song meditation.
Okay, so we'll do a little meditation and then we'll do a little song. One second, my baby's crying. Give me 1 minute. Sorry for that. Okay. So I hope everyone is relaxed, calm. Baruch Hashem. We got used to not being busy, not running around. So like every good meditation, we start with some breathing. Because everyone's alive, but not everyone breathes. Breathing is such a nice thing to focus on, to remember. One of the challenges that mankind faces today is habit. doing things out of habit just because we did them yesterday or we're used to doing them or everyone does them. We stop thinking about what we do. Breathing, is there something more important than our body, to our life, than oxygen? But we just automatically live. And as we breathe, our body's relaxed. You could relax your shoulders, relax your fingers, relax your knees, relax your back, relax your cheeks. And I tell myself in my mind that any thought that comes to me right now, no matter what it is, I'm choosing to ignore. I'm ignoring any thought that comes to my mind, just choosing not to think of it. And I remember everything that I think about, everything that I hear, everything that I sense is all creation. I remember that there's one creator that my mind cannot imagine. In my mind, I just know that he exists and creates everything. It's as if I could feel that right now he's looking at me, because he really is. In my mind, I know that he hears my thoughts, he sees my thoughts, and any other thought that comes to my mind, I ignore. I'm remembering that he is looking at me and he exists. And I know in my mind that right now, the same way I am going on a journey to him, I'm emptying my mind of physical thoughts, ignoring everything in my life, just remembering him, focusing on him. The same way I'm doing this right now, I know that right now he is looking at me and listening to me, and as if ignoring all the noise in the world. My attitude to him is creating his attitude to me. I feel in my mind, in my heart, happiness and joy that right now I'm remembering the truth. I'm remembering the simple truth. He exists and creates everything. And in my world, everything is one. My heart feels happy. I feel lucky that I know about him, that I'm able to quiet my mind from all the noise of this world and to remember him. I feel lucky that my heart feels excitement and joy because he's loving me right now and looking at me right now and creating me right now. Right now, I feel my hands, I feel my shoulders, I feel my eyes, my ears, my body, my legs, my whole being. I feel it all at the same time. I am one. And in my heart, from my heart, from my mind, I'm asking the Creator who sees me right now, who loves me right now. I want to always remember you. May my body and my thoughts and my speech always honor you. I'll slowly remember my body now. I can move my hands, move my head, move my feet. Slowly, I will open my eyes. And when I want, come back into my body and my normal mind. I'm going to bring the guitar. Rabbi Moshe?
Yes, Rabbi, I'm here.
Okay, amazing. You know, I think there's some questions that guitarists don't have, but I think that for me, it's like, you know, I don't know if to put the beard on this side of the guitar or that side. Most rock and roll artists don't go through these issues. Okay. You hear me?
Yeah, we hear you great.
Bum, bum, ba, da, da. Da, da, Thank you, my friends.
Thank you so much, Rabbi. It was amazing, really. We enjoyed it so much. All the teachings, the meditation, the music, everything. It's a pleasure to have you with Su. Hopefully here in Mexico City again.
Amen. Hopefully in Eretz Israel soon again with everyone. This Zoom stuff is nice, but it doesn't replace reality. And B'ezrat Hashem soon in Eretz Israel together. Am Israel and Eretz Israel.
Amen, amen.
Man.
Thank you so much, Rabbi. Thank you.
Baruch, Rav. Thank you so much.
Buchim to you. Buchim to you. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you.
Bye.